Hey guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. All right, is it really possible to retire at or even before the age of 35? So we're going to talk about that today because we're going to cover something called the FIRE movement. This is something that I've read about, I've seen. It's a trend that's kind of cycled in and out, but now it's making a very strong comeback as more and more young people are saying that their goal is to retire early. So how do you even go about this? Well, let's talk about it. So first, what is the FIRE movement? So FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. And people that are part of this movement, they have a goal of saving and investing aggressively about 50 to 75% of their income so that they can retire as soon as possible. And some people try to do this by the age of 35. So obviously, it's pretty extreme. It causes you to live below your means. It requires major sacrifice. But is it possible? Yeah, it is possible. People are doing this. Now, is it a good idea? It's debatable. But let's look at what it means to retire early. So, what is the FIRE movement's definition of retiring early? So most people that follow this method aren't just doing it so they can sit on the beach for the rest of their lives. They really just want to be able to travel, work when they want, not work at all, and just have the freedom to choose. So everyone has a different amount of money that they want to retire on, but most FIRE people aim for saving around 25 times their yearly expenses in order to be completely financially independent. So for example, let's say you spend $48,000 a year. That means you'll have to save up $1.2 million. And this is based on their assumption that they would withdraw 4% of their savings each year in retirement, which is the withdrawal rate that the FIRE method thinks is sustainable if you invest and have passive income. So what can we learn from the FIRE movements? Well, there's some good points. So these people are really intense about their goals, which I love. I mean, I feel like sometimes we can just kind of float through life and there's kind of like, I don't know what to do next. But they have something they're aiming for and they are driving towards it really intensely, which I love that. I think that's amazing. Also, I think it's great to have a dream and to actually plan for retirement. They're obviously moving up the retirement age significantly, but they're thinking about it. They're thinking long term and like, okay, what do I want that to look like? Where again, some people aren't even thinking about retirement until they're in their 40s and 50s and realizing, oh my gosh, where did my life go? These people really are starting early to think long term. Also, in order to do this, you have to live below your means. And so this habit, I think, is wonderful. It's something that we talk about on the show all the time. But man, when you live on less than you make and you have margin, there's something about it that proves you can do it. And it's possible. So it just proves that that is a great method of living life. And I love that they make saving and investing a priority, that they say, I'm going to sacrifice things that aren't a big deal right now. It feels like a big deal in the present, but it's not. I'm going to take all that money and actually save it and invest it for the future. Now, before I go to the next one, let's take a quick break so I can tell you about our sponsor. Hey guys, do you want to know how to make your money go further when you're on the hunt for new styles? Then you've got to check out Jane.com. So Jane.com/Rachel, you can save 65% on clothes, accessories, home decor, and other fun finds. They bring you new deals from over 2,000 boutiques and designer brands every single day. So head over to Jane.com/Rachel if you're ready to refresh your style and to check out their latest deals while they last. All right, next, what are the downsides of the FIRE movements? Well, you have to have a pretty large income or you have to make massive sacrifices or both for this to even be a possibility. So again, depending on your income and depending on your sacrifice level that you're willing to do, it may not be in the cards for you. There's a real danger of getting burned out early in life. And so again, they go so hardcore, so quickly, so intensely that some don't even make it that far to that age of 35 or 40 to retire early. They get burned out beforehand. And many FIRE advocates recommend the use of credit cards and their points and rewards, plus investing in kind of some things I'm like interest-bearing bonds and other stuff that's risky just to have passive income. Also, many fire advocates also do it to just avoid working full time because they hate their jobs. They're like, oh, I just want to get out of the job force. When the truth is, you actually, you can have a job that you love. You don't have to run away from work. So it is possible to still make a great living and enjoy the work that you're doing. And also a hardship here is that the cost of living is so high right now because of inflation that it's really harder than ever to save that much of your income. So that is a downside. Okay, so what's my take on the FIRE movement? Well, I'm definitely not mad at it. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people, they're like, I just want to retire early. I want to save a ton of money as soon as possible. And I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do, go for it. There's nothing morally wrong with it. But I also would say, don't do it just because you're like, oh, I just want to retire and do nothing with my life at age 35 or 40. And yeah, not doing that. I think we have purpose, and think that we have things that we can actually do. So I don't want it to be a cop-out for people not just do a job, but do something that you're passionate about and that you love and that you were created for. Also, many people, they sacrifice so much early in life, through their 20s especially. And I say on the show, create a life that you love. And so there's part of enjoying the money that you're working for and to kind of have a little bit of a balanced approach where the FIRE movement doesn't have that at all. It's very, very extreme. Also, you want to think about the quality of life later on. So you have to think, okay, is that $48,000 as an example going to last me for the rest of my life? Is that the thing? Is that the number? Because chances are that number could change for you. Or you could think, do I just want to invest and save more steadily throughout the years and then be able to enjoy retirement later on with millions of dollars in my 401k or Roth IRA? So there's a tried and true method for sure that I recommend when it comes to retirement. So this idea of being out of debt, having a fully funded emergency fund, and funding 15% of your income into retirement, it's worked well for literally millions and millions of people. And the truth is, there's freedom when you don't have debt and you have an emergency fund to maybe enjoy some of the perks of the FIRE movement, where you could say, okay, I do want to change jobs, and I'm able to because I have no payments, I have money in the bank, and so I now have options again. And so that's what I love about the baby steps, is it gives you those options. Now, if you want to, go crazy and do the FIRE method and that's what you want to do, then that's great too. That's totally fine. But I do think that there can be a balanced approach. And I think the baby steps really do bring this. But if you do have questions about investing and saving for retirement and knowing, okay, am I going to have enough for retirement to maybe retire a little bit earlier, and you just have questions, I would really recommend that you talk to one of our Ramsey Trusted SmartVestor Pros. They can answer all of your questions and help you make the financial moves that you need to make for what's best for you and your family and your goals for the future. So that's the FIRE movement, you guys. I think it's really fascinating. I love hearing people's stories about it because, I think there's a part that's for sure motivating and goes completely against the culture, which I appreciate, of sacrificing, saying no to just what you want in the moment for getting to a goal. And I think that mindset is so helpful in life. Now, if you have a friend that's curious about the FIRE movement, or you think this would be really intriguing for them, make sure to send this on to them and share this video. And for you guys, keep on the journey, no matter where you are, depending on your baby steps, where you are financially, just keep at it. Have a goal in mind and be chasing it with intensity, maybe not as intense as the FIRE movement, but having focused intensity over time is so, so key. So remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.